Hi everyone, I'm Amulechan of class 9C. Today I and my friends going to do the seminar of the chapter Federalism. In this chapter there are 4 topics that are what is federalism, what makes India a federal country, how federalism practiced, decentralization in India. My topic is what is federalism. Let us get back to the contraction between Belgium and Sri Lanka that we seen in the last chapter. One of the key changes made in the constitution of the Belgium was to reduce the power of the central government and give the power to the regional government. Regional government exists in Belgium even earlier. They had their roles and powers. But all these powers were given to this government and could be withdrawn from the central government. The change took place in 1993 was regional government given the constitutional power that were no longer dependent on a central government. Thus, the Belgium shifted unitary form of government to federal form of government. Sri Lanka continues the unitary form of the government where the national government has all powers, but the Tamil leaders wanted Sri Lanka to become a federal government. What is federalism? Federalism is a system of the government in which the power is divided between central authority and various constituents of the country. Usually, federation has a 2 levels of the government. One is the government for an entire country which is responsible for a few subjects of a national interest. The other government are the level of the state that look after day-to-day administration of the state. Both the level of the government enjoys their power independent of others.
Good morning, myself is Bini KS. I am doing the seminar of federalism. My topic is what are the features of federalism. 2 types of government. One is unitary government and another one is federal government. Unitary system government, either there is only one level of government or the subunits. Central government can pass order to the local government. The central government cannot pass the order to the state government to do something. State government has power to do anything for their own. We can see about what are the key features of federalism. There are 7 features of federalism. There are 2 or more levels of government. All levels of governments have jurisdictions, all rights, for example, taxes or laws. In this jurisdiction happen any problems means the citizen can go to the court. The court will solve the problems. Fundamental provision of the constitution cannot be one changed by only one level of government, such required to both the level of government. Court have a power to interpret the constitution and also it solves the problems which arrives from different levels of government, and it also acts as an umpire. Federal government, they collect the tax. The tax will directly pass to the central government. This federal government all wants equal rights and equality and equal power sharing. So in this federal government divided into two or more levels of government. In a government, there is a needs of balancing a power on different levels. The balance depends on historical contexts. There are 2 routes to balancing power: coming together federation and holding together federation. Coming together independent on their own to form the big units, example USA, Switzerland and Australia. Holding power federation, the country divided the power to all the states equally, for example India, Spain and Belgium. These all are the coming together federation and holding together federation. Thank you.
Good morning all, myself Anme from 10th section C class English School Nursery. So thank you my mates for explaining us about what is federalism. So I am here to explain you about what makes India a federal country. So let us begin learning about it. As you earlier learned about the power sharing in Belgium and the Sri Lanka, it was a big difficulty for the Belgian government and the Sri Lankan government to share the power among them. So as you know, they are the smallest countries, but they have struggled to manage the power among them and to manage the diversity among them. But what about the country? What about a vast country like India, which have millions and crores of populations with so many languages, castes, regions, etc. So let us begin learning about it. India had emerged as an independent nation after so many conflicts and the bloody partition. Soon after the independence, our constitution declared India as the union of states. For constitution, it has a union of states because India consisted of both British ruled states and the princely states, and also the place where the French and Portuguese rule was considered as the unions of territory. So there were so many reasons for the constitution to declare our India as the union of states, but our union is still following the principles of the federalism. On the basis of our constitution, it made two-tier system. As you know, first one is union government and the second one is state of the central government. So the union government is India, and the state of the central government made of the state government. So our constitution originally made two types of government. As you know, first one is union government and the second one is state government. So it represented that union is for India and state is for state government. So also after some time our constitution made a third tier called as the local government, which is for the panchayats, districts and the municipalities. So why the constitution also there was a state, why our constitution made the local government? Because only state cannot take the control, can't look over the old state. So for the panchayats and grams and districts, they made a local government. Soon after, our constitution also made three lists between union government and the state government. So let us begin learning and let us go through it. So the first list is union list. Union list consists of subjects of national importance such as the defense of the country, foreign affairs, banking, communication, currency, etc. So these lists are not in the other list. These subjects are in the union list because it need a high standard or the uniform policy of matters throughout the country. So it is not there in the other lists. It is there only in the union list. So our Indian union government can make laws alone only relatable to the subjects of the you mentioned in the union list. So the next list is state list. State list consists of the subjects of the state and the local importance such as police, trade, agriculture, irrigation, commerce, etc. The state list has 66 subjects like this, and the state government can make laws alone on these lists, but the state government can't interfere on the union list 97 subjects. This is about the state list. One is last but not least, it is concurrent list. Concurrent list consists of the subjects of the common interest of both union and the state government. So the subjects like education, forest, trade unions, marriage, adoption, succession, etc. will come in this list, and the concurrent list consists of 47 subjects on both union government and central and the state government. So here the both union and the state government can make laws on these concurrent lists, but if their laws conflict with each other, the union government will prevail. So, this section of constitutional provisions. So, in case if they want to divide the powers, the High Court and Supreme Court, both of them should make a decision, and the both government has the power to raise the resource by imposing taxes in order to maintain the government and to take the responsibility of the government. So this is about what makes up. So by this topic you can understand that the powers are equally distributed between union government and state government and the local government. It is equally distributed between the three tiers which are made by constitutional government. So union government enjoys own power by the country or the foreign affairs, by the country's problems or the country's work. It will enjoy the power of the country's work, and the state government enjoy the power of the state, and the local government, the way where the state transferred its some powers to the local government to take care of the panchayats, municipalities, etc. So here you can see that India is a federal country for the equal sharing of powers and by equalism. So this is about what makes India a federal. So these are about the three lists. Now what about the technology and computer or the subjects that do not fall in any of these three lists? So our constitution, the union government made another subject to legislate on the basis of the power. It is called as residuary subjects. As my friends earlier explained you about the holding together and the coming together, so it does not give the equal power to its constituent units, and also our states of India and Indian Union don't have the identical powers. Let me give you the example of one of the Indian states which enjoy the more power, which enjoy the more special status. It is nothing but Jammu and Kashmir, which have its own constitution. Many provisions are not applicable for this state without the approval of the state assembly. In this state, Indians who are not permanent residents of the state can't buy the house or the land. So not only in Jammu Kashmir, there are some other states in India like this, but Jammu Kashmir enjoyed more power since 2 years. It's enjoying the more power. So our Prime Minister Narendra Modi cancelled the 370 article and considered Jammu and Kashmir as the union territory. So like there are some other states which don't have the identical power, but they enjoy more powers. So this was about the units which are having more powers, but there are also some states which have less powers, which have little powers, such as Chandigarh, Lakshadweep, and our capital city Delhi, which will enjoy the less power. So they are not run by the state government, they are run by the central government. So the central government take the responsibility of running these states, and these Chandigarh, Lakshadweep, Delhi, and etc. are considered as the union territories of India. The power sharing between union government and the state government is a basic structure of the constitution, and also the judiciary plays an important role on overseeing and putting.
Hello everyone, this is Chinmay from class 10C. Today I am going to explain you about how federalism is practiced in India. So in this we are going to learn about how the federalism is mainly practiced and what are the things which are used to maintain the federalism. So basically we have three structures which stands on for federalism. They are linguistic states, language policy, and central state relation. So in these three I'm going to explain you about two topics. They are linguistic states and language policy. Linguistic states. What do you mean by linguistic states? Linguistic states are the states which are divided on the basis of language, culture, and religion. So the first point in this is evolution of states over periods. From 1947 to the present map we are comparing means the 1947's map was like not the states are not properly arranged compared to the present map. So what are the changes we can see? That means some of the states were vanished compared to the old map, and the new states were formed, and according to the language and region the states were formed in the present map. But in the older map we are not finding any differences, though every people were formed in a state together. There was no language difference and there was no region difference in that. Not all the states will be divided on the basis of language, and some of the states will be divided on the basis of their culture and their region. So for example, Nagaland. In that Nagaland there were no Naga speaking people will be there. In that the Naga tribes will be present in Nagaland. So basis of their region also the states will be formed. And in the older days the freedom fighters or the leaders were refused to divide the states because if they divide the states on the basis of language or culture or region means they were thinking about the future. In future, if those state peoples will come and they may ask that we will not be in this union, we want our own country. Like that, if they ask means the democracy or the equality will not be there in that country, so that they were refused to divide the states on the basis of language, region, and culture. The central government was resisting to form linguistic states because, as I said, the reason so that they were rejecting to form the linguistic states. And in the present life they are telling that the linguistic states, in the experience of all this country, the linguistic states made the country united and also made the administrative easier. Next concept is language policy. In this we are going to see about how our India adopted the language policy. And also first thing is that we are not having any national language, because on the basis of language sentiment the India has not adopted any language as the national language, but we have an official language, that is Hindi. Official language means for the official works we are using the Hindi as an official language. The majority of the peoples are speaking Hindi, means the 43% of people are speaking Hindi and other 58% of people are speaking other language. The Hindi is considered as the official language. States too have their own official languages. For the state works they are using their language as an official language, but in the central they are using the Hindi as the official language. Besides Hindi, other 21 languages are considered as scheduled language. So our country leaders took some of the cautions while spreading the Hindi language. And also promotion of Hindi language continues. Promotion does not mean imposition of Hindi. Means promotion means they are just promoting the Hindi language, but they are not telling us or they are not forcing us to use the language. By this, I'm going to complete my two topics, that is linguistic states and language policy.
Central and state relation. India is a federal country. It has a government at a both center and a state level. After independence, for long time, same party ruled at a center and in most of our states. This means that state government did not exercise their rights as autonomous federal unit. When the rival parties formed the government at the state level, central government tried to misuse its power by dismissing the state governments. This weakened the federal spirit of our constitution. However, the condition improved after 1990 when the regional parties emerged in their states. This was also beginning of era of a coalition government in a central government. Colonial government means two or more party form the government if there is no clear majority in the elections. This led to a new era of a power sharing and respecting the independent work of the state government.
My name is Chandana HR of class 10C. Already my friends have told about many topics of federalism. Here I am to tell about a topic, decentralization in India. In this topic we will get about what is the meaning of decentralization and how is decentralization in India. In our federal government, there are two or more tiers of government. They are central government and the state government. You can think that only two tiers of government can enough to lead our country, but it is absolutely wrong. We are living in such a vast country where two tiers of government is not enough. As India is a very vast country, here power sharing plays a very important role. Because to everyone get equality and everyone get the facility which is provided by the government, we want third tier of government, that is local government. When the power is taken away from the state government and the central government and given to local government, it is called as the decentralization. This is the definition of the decentralization. The reason behind to give power to the local government is, as we observe, many big problems were solved in the local level only, and people also have the knowledge to solve their problems, and they also have the idea to how to and where to spend their money and how to manage it. In the local level or in the state level, all the people cannot participate in the decision making, but in the local level all the people can participate in the decision making. So local government shows the self-government. After that, the need of decentralization was also recognized by our constitution. There were several attempts to decentralize the power in the level of urban and the rural in our country. Panchayats were made in the rural and the municipalities were made in the urban. In 1992, Constitution amended some policies which were to make our third tier more powerful and more effective. They are: elections should be held regularly, and also some seats should be reserved for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other backward classes, and also 1/3 of seats should be reserved for the in all the position for the women, and also state election commission should be created for the election purpose of local government, and also state government have to give some powers to the local government so that they can execute their powers. Now we will know that in the local government how the representatives are distributed in the urban and the rural level. In the rural level, the local government is popularly known as the Panchayat Raj, and also there will be some gram panchayat in the villages, and also there will be ward members who are also called as the Panch and a president or a Sarpanch, who are directly elected by the particular village or a ward people. And also some gram panchayat form together to form a panchayat samiti, also called as the mandal or a block. All panchayat samiti in a district form together as a Jilla Parishad. And in the urban level, municipalities were formed and big cities were constituted into municipal corporation. Municipal chairman is the political head of the municipality, and also municipal chairman officer is also called as the mayor. So this is how the local government took place in India. So by the arrangement of the local government, about 36 lakh people were elected as a panchayat and a municipality representatives in all over the country. And also constitutional status of local government has deepened democracy of our country. And also women, there is an increase in women participation and also their voice in the democracy. At the same time, there are some of the difficulties. There are gram sabhas are not holding elections regularly, and also state had not given some of the major significant resources and powers to the local government. We are still very far from realizing the ideal of the self-government. So this is about the chapter Federalism by the 10th students. Thank you.